In our last video, we looked at how we could use our graphing calculator to make a scatter plot to determine if a scatter plot showed a linear or a quadratic relationship. So let's do the same thing at the beginning of this video to determine what kind of relationship we have. It'll be quadratic this time. Then we'll do a regression and then do something a little bit different with that equation. So if you watched the last one, this part will be familiar. We need to put our data in first, so select stat and then edit. I've typed in my data already. My x, the angle I launch a pumpkin at, is in L1. My y data, the distance that pumpkin travels after I launch it, is in L2. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to get this data typed in. And I'm going to assume you've done that at this point. And then let's figure out first what kind of regression we have. The easiest way to do this was to go to y equals. Make sure you don't have any equations typed in here, but make sure plot 1 is highlighted. If it's not, just go up there and press enter to turn it on. Once you've done that, we need to adjust our window. There's a really cool feature under zoom that'll help us work with scatter plots and the stat stuff really easily, and that's zoom and then option 9. So if you select 9 with scatter plot turned on, you'll automatically adjust your window, and I can see that this time there's my quadratic. I can tell that this data kind of looks like a parabola much more than it does look like a straight line. So I'm going to say that this is a quadratic relationship. Knowing that, I can now use my calculator to also find me this equation, the equation of best fit. To do that, just like linear regressions, we press stat, and this time go over to calculate. You'll see option 5 now is a quadratic regression. The last video we did a linear regression. So select option 5 and then press enter a few times, or some of the older calculators just have you press enter once. But get down to calculate and press enter, and it'll find you the equation that best fits this data. There's my A, B, and C values. We agreed in class to round to 2 decimal places, so make sure you do that down there, and there's the equation that we have. I'm going to pause the video so I can get my equation typed in. I would recommend you guys do the same. Alright, so there's my equation typed in. If I hit graph now, I can see that this parabola really does match up to those points very closely. That's the best that we're able to do. So what I want to do now is determine what is the maximum angle, or what's the angle I should use that will maximize my horizontal distance. So now that I have my parabola, I can find the maximum as I would do on any parabola, and the easiest way to do that is, again, to use my calculator. So hit second trace, and this time select option 4. I want to find the maximum point. It's going to ask me to go a little bit to the left of the vertex, so somewhere over here would probably be good. And press enter. Go a little bit to the right of the vertex. So that should be fine. And then just guess. It's fine. So there's where it's telling me my maximum angle I should use. My x is about 43.44 degrees will be the maximum angle I can use. If it did ask me to find the maximum distance, according to this, the maximum distance that pumpkin's going to go is about 513.7 feet.